top music.
If that's your argument for Aretha, then there's no way that she should be above James Brown.
Oh, I think she's cooking James Brown.
Oh, I thought you got it.
Because she got more decades of it, and her stuff is squarely in the genre more to me than James Brown's. And everybody
I took myself out of that genre.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Scores and Assists, where we break down the latest headlines and bring you fresh takes on everything sports and culture. From trending news to game highlights and hot debates, we've got it all. Hit the subscribe button and stay in the loop. So in honor of Juneteenth, Billboard has released a list of its top 75 R&B artists of all time. The list is expectedly causing plenty of debate on social media as fans argue over the rankings. In deciding on the list, Billboard staff used the following criteria: vocal prowess, body of work, career longevity, industry achievements, game-changing influence, and enduring generational/cultural impact. They further clarified, saying while some singers who made the list are also known for their lyrical skills, songwriting wasn't a major deciding factor in this instance.
I want to start arguing about, or debating about, or giving information about, learning about.
We could jump right into where we left off.
Billboard's
on
top 25.
Patreon, we did that, but I'm not mad. They announced the
last 26.
The rest
Listen,
of them.
if they're not subscribed to Patreon by now, they
Yo,
should.
They're losing out.
That's true. Subscribe to the Patreon.
That was a good conversation too.
It was.
It really was. And shout out to all the new people over there.
I wasn't mad at the 3.5 hours last night.
That's the first time I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Y'all doing too much now, nigga.
Anyways,
Parking lot cussing Joe out.
Wait, what happened?
That's not being in the parking lot cussing you fuck out.
Why?
Parking lot. It's been an
Getting home at 10 o'clock at night. That's why.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Not very.
Not very. It's not quite that late, no.
Right?
It's different than what
I'm
you told me, but
exaggerating.
I accepted it. There you go. That's it. Yeah.
What I told you?
Oh, you said, oh man, we had 6:30 most days.
Well, that's normally true.
That hasn't been true in a very long time.
Normally might mean something different to you.
That's actually.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
Me
actually-
too.
That's actually the rarity.
I'm sorry. Y'all are right. I'm wrong. What I meant to say is that normally happens when the day runs like it's supposed to run.
Shade.
Also not true. But
That's not true either.
For real, is that?
What?
No. He did the same thing when he had videos in the tuck. If shit runs smoothly, he wants to keep going. That's him, nigga. He gets a bang for his buck. When we had videos in the tuck and he promised us, yo, we have 5 in the tuck, that nigga's gonna take a day off. That nigga, Tuesday, Thursday Saturday. He was dropping 2 Patreons. We come in here looking at him and Joe, what's up? The people love it. They eating outside. That's his shit, man. You can't have paying attention.
Listen, for me, this show is a blessing.
There you go. It is.
For sure.
The people that the complaints, the people that reserve the right to complain are the coal miners, the teachers that are teaching our kids.
He trying to play us right now.
Here we go.
The firefighters,
Nigga said the coal
firefighters out there, the police that
Shout
are
out to
trying
all
to make
these
the streets
fun-
safer. Like, I come in here and talk with my friends for a living. There's nothing to complain about.
We love it.
Like, these are I love y'all.
We love you too.
Love you
Nothing to
too.
complain about for me.
We love you too, Joe.
Anyway,
Shade.
He's so full of shit. Billboard.
Back to the list.
Billboard put out the list.
That nigga need to write a billboard.
Let's go, Ish. Get that nigga. You good, boy. We ain't gonna let the nigga slide. Get him, Ish.
Rapper boy,
Yeah, so
extraordinaire.
Billboard put out a list, 75 of the greatest R&B acts of all time. So we went through the list, and now they've just put out their final 26,
25.
25.
I'd like to start this topic with an apology because I watched it back. I maybe was a little hard on Aaliyah. I maybe was hard on Aaliyah.
Yes. Y'all was hard on a few people.
I agree. I think she should be on the list. I just think she should be a lot lower on the list.
Where was she?
That's my
40 something,
position.
right?
She was at 40, I think.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Leah in the 40s is insane.
Well, ahead of Dionne Warwick and some of
Ahead of Dionne
in
Warwick is
comparison
insane.
to a lot of the people that were in the 60s and the 70s, you know, that
But like Free said, you know, the criteria is what's important.
I don't see no criteria where she's in the 40s.
Impact.
Again, I don't see it.
Oh, no, her impact was definitely major.
No, but I'm saying her impact isn't so high that it trumps all the other
people that
5
were
criteria.
below her.
Yeah,
She might still be ahead of a couple people.
Yeah.
I had to go back and look, but she was impactful. Like,
Romeo Must Die.
no, I'm talking about like the kind of everyday girl R&B singer vibe that still is
It was
here
other,
today.
There was other criteria on that list, though.
There was, but she had hits too. Like,
She has some of them.
rest in peace, Aaliyah. Like, I
She
think
had hits. I just don't think she has the album that puts her in the 40s.
No.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Or the accolades.
Yeah, I don't know about
It's other, like, again, we go
Vocal
just
range,
off of that
vocal ability.
criteria.
It was
No.
other
And
things,
rest in peace, Aaliyah.
Rest in peace,
want
Aaliyah.
Huge Aaliyah fan, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, let's get to the top 10. Let's do it.
No.
Can I remind people what
25 down because we left off at 26.
we left at 26?
All right, so you want to do 25 down?
Yeah, so basically we'll start at 25.
Yeah.
We could fly through it.
All right, 25, Patti LaBelle.
That's fair.
Hard to be mad at that.
24, Bill Withers.
Yes.
23, Teddy Pendergrass.
That's a little crazy.
I thought he would have been higher.
This whole run, I feel like, is a little crazy.
Oh, yeah, it gets a little tricky. Well, not tricky. It
I
gets
feel
crazy as hell.
I feel like when we listen to the rest, then we'll
make
probably.
sense.
It may give this perspective.
Yeah, keep it going. I'm not going to
All right, 22, Luther Vandross.
We got to interrupt now.
Yeah.
Right here.
Them two, Teddy and Luther,
Teddy and Luther.
Need to be way
never
higher.
are that high. I mean low.
22,
It's crazy.
21, Donny Hathaway. 20, Otis Redding.
That's about
This whole run is tough for me. But go ahead.
19, Smokey Robinson. 18, Al Green. 17, Janet Jackson. 16, Mary J. Blige.
I live with that.
I live with that too.
Over to some of them other names that was in the from 25 down.
Teddy,
Yeah.
Luther should be higher. Teddy, to me, is right where he should be, and I'll tell you why. Only because of that, again, that group versus individual dynamic. If you start counting Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes,
Then there's no way he should be there.
Yeah.
and that's
And
yeah, you say you should be lower then.
And from what
Yeah.
we've seen in the 26 to 75, a lot of those people they didn't exclude their group work. Because if they excluded some of their group work, they wouldn't even be on the list.
And that's why the list is a little janky to me
Yeah.
because it's like sometimes I agree with you. It seems like you're only there because of these
Because
things.
there's
Yeah.
the impact that you made with these groups.
Yeah.
Okay. 15, Isaac Hayes. 14, Curtis Mayfield.
Okay.
13, Sam Cooke.
Yeah, we cool.
12, Usher.
Sam Cooke don't go before a lot of them names from 17 to 23. I feel like
I agree with
I feel
that,
like
too.
we could swap their 12 to 16 with 17 to 22,
Yep.
and nobody
Agreed.
would blink an
Curtis
eye.
Mayfield, Isaac Hayes, no disrespect. I would take Teddy P and Luther and put them and swap those numbers.
I probably would too.
I would swap those numbers without a problem.
Same.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that was 12. 11, Ray Charles.
I was thinking about his name on the drive home.
He's another tricky one
Yeah.
because of all the crossing of genres.
Well, a lot of this is tricky genre crossing, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, but we'll get to that in a minute.
You can't put Ray Charles 11 and Smokey Robinson at
19. What was he, 19, I think?
I don't think there's that much space between them two.
Unless you start talking about Smokey and the Miracles. I don't know what they're counting as individual versus.
And not only that, Ray
'Cause I agree
Charles.
with you. I would put Smokey higher.
Yeah, and not only that, like Park says, there's a lot of like cross genre stuff that
Right.
Ray Charles is, where Smokey is
not,
Is,
yeah.
yeah, he's R&B.
Right.
His whole career is R&B basically.
And in the 1950s, when they started making race records, I mean, the idea of a race record, some people call it soul, some people call it R&B, some people call, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know what R&B means anymore, given all the people in this pool.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, so
Sorry, Ray.
It felt like old school race records rules.
Yeah.
As far as defining the genre here.
that's what it seems like. Yeah.
All right, we at the top 10. Number 10, Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
Whoa, that's low.
I expected him higher.
Yeah.
I thought he would have been higher. I thought Al Green would have been higher. But when you keep going,
Yeah.
9 R. Kelly.
9 is R. Kelly.
No Planet is R. Kelly respectfully higher than Marvin Gaye.
Except maybe Earth.
No.
Parks, you have a fight.
Huh?
You would have a fight. Like if you
This is
polled the
interesting.
masses, that's not as cut and dry.
I think it's generational.
that could be.
I think it's generational.
I think every listed, yeah.
You always say that, yeah. Because I would have had R. Kelly like number 5, just off the top of my head, but without looking at the list, if I just had to pull a number. But when I see who's above him, I can't get that mad at
I
it.
wouldn't have had him at 5. I would have had him about 7.
I would have had him kind of where he is. I would have had Marvin Gaye higher than R. Kelly.
Yeah, I had
Yes.
Marvin Gaye in my top 3, so.
Personally.
Marvin Gaye
He
is
at
Marvin,
least 5 to me.
Why would Marvin Gaye be above? I mean, it's an honest question. Why would Marvin Gaye be above R. Kelly?
He didn't touch no girls.
Damn.
Well,
Well, other than that,
Take that part of
Reading biographies.
What's going on?
Never mind.
yeah.
Take it back.
what's going on. That's why.
And that's where it gets tricky, right? Because for some people, Chocolate Factory was a genre field change.
I think that what's going on is a top 5 album period of all time.
I agree.
That's how I feel about that. I feel TP2.
TP2
is probably
They're really good
12
albums.
plays.
No,
they're
what's
not
going on
really
is
good
something
albums.
else.
They're past really good albums.
What's going on
What's
is
going
it's
on
like
is
Joshua
one of
Tree.
the
It's like Love
greatest
Supreme. It's like,
albums ever made.
yeah.
Man, all the little kids
Once
were
you
singing
get out of
I'll Be
there.
Like a Fly.
Once you get out of
Once
there,
you get out of there,
it is.
I think R. Kelly has a top 5, 6 discography in R&B,
I'm in agreement.
I think you got one.
excluding no one.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
Yeah.
I can't. I would never put. I would never put him. The top 3 is still for me Stevie. Well, I'm speeding. Go ahead.
We're good. Okay. Number 8, Mariah Carey.
I'm not putting Mariah above R. Kelly. I don't care what Billboard says. I don't care what Billboard says.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
I love Christmas like everybody else, but I'm not.
But it mainly.
And that ain't even an R&B hit.
Yeah, mainly, exactly. Mariah, there's a lot of like pop in her
I feel like
discography. A
that's-
lot.
Yeah, like,
You
when,
know,
like
so-
when I think of Dream Lover, just as an example, where do we classify that? The best thing about Mariah is that she often remixed a lot of her poppy hits and made them.
But
put
then you
hip-hop
talk
and
about
R&B.
Vision of Love and all that other shit, and if you're gonna put some of these other people that had cross genre music, you can't exclude her.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
when you don't exclude her and you put her in there,
If we're gonna put Michael Jackson in any of these lists, you have to put.
Then you
Mariah
gotta
which
put
I
Carey
also
on
was
your list.
funny about,
you got to put Mariah Carey.
but Mariah above R.
I'm
Kelly
not putting
seems
her
crazy
above
to
R.
me.
Kelly.
That seems crazy to me.
I'm not.
I am.
I'm not putting her
But I'm
above
not
Marvin
mad
Gaye
at
either.
I think they should be. I think they should be close.
No,
She's definitely not above
please.
Marvin Gaye.
No.
Y'all bum.
Continue, Freeze.
7 is Prince.
I think that's too high.
I think that's too low, but I mean that's my bias.
That's your bias.
Again, some of that shit ain't R&B. Prince's best shit ain't R&B to me. I guess that's why I'm
I think Prince is right where
What
he
would
should
you
be,
consider it?
funk.
Funk? Okay,
Yeah.
It's a lot of funk.
A lot of funk. some
It's not.
rock.
It's almost more new wave than it is funk. Although new wave has elements of funk.
Of funk, right?
But-
So, but I wouldn't. It just wouldn't. I just wouldn't think R&B when I hear it. When I think of Prince's biggest hits, do you think they're R&B? I mean, would you consider them R&B hits?
not all the way, but I also the next name on the list. I don't necessarily.
Yeah,
he would fall
that
under
one
funk
lost
too
me.
a little bit. James Brown.
James Brown is number 6. R&B. I don't
You're
know.
not wrong, but I just love James Brown.
I love James Brown too.
I'm cheating for James Brown the way you were just saying, like for Prince. Like,
This just brings me back to the question. I would love to ask all of them at Billboard, what is R&B?
yeah,
Right.
Like, I think if we got a definite answer from that, some of this will start making more sense. Because I don't know it. When you got James Brown higher than some of these other names
They didn't write
on an R&B list.
They didn't write ahead of the list, like, you know, just a little blurb as to what thought process went into creating this list. Not
They
just
did
by
the criteria, but not what constituted R&B.
Yeah, like we all had this
versus-
conversation about, you know, what R&B actually means. You know, the definition of it. It would be interesting. They should have done that.
R&B is like middle class. It's one of the things where everybody has a different idea of what it means, and everything goes in.
Facts.
And you're just throwing everything in it.
Right. It would be hard though, because think about this: like if you had a Michael Jackson album that had 12 songs, 3 of those songs could be R&B,
For sure.
6 of them are pop, right? Whatever other breakdown you have, but then
Why is pop not R&B to y'all?
that's what I'm saying. I don't understand.
I think
'Cause
pop is
stands for popular music.
I think
It ain't-
pop is
everything.
over. I think anything can be
Yeah,
pop. You can have
overarching.
pop hip hop. You can have pop R&B. You can have pop rock. You can have.
That's fair. But
If the album goes diamond, you don't say, "Yo," but those 4 songs was only R&B. You give him the accolades from that particular project, so you can't really divvy it up like that.
I think when I say pop, I don't just mean in terms of because I agree, pop could be anything, right? Not like us as pop at this point, right? I mean, at that level.
Yeah.
But I think when I think of a pop sound, I think about stripping away certain musical elements from it that
When I
makes it
think-
feel less, strip away some of the soul. Like Michael Jackson, like Off the Wall is an R&B or soul album,
It's a disco album, damn near.
and it's a disco album, right? For sure. Off
I
the
think-
Wall is literally a disco song.
Yeah.
But I'm saying by the time you get
disco
to
is R&B to me.
Yeah, it is.
But
Yeah.
by the time you get to like Bad, you know, for me that doesn't feel. I don't feel soul in that. I don't feel soul in those records in the same way.
Yeah, I feel soul, but it's,
I'm overstating a little bit, but I guess my point is, it feels less and less R&B with each album.
You don't feel the soul in Your Butt Is Mine?
There's so many ways I can respond to that.
I feel like pop music is just like it's an automatic blend of a whole bunch of things. You know what I mean? Like how Bad has elements of rock to it, has
Yeah.
elements of soul to it, has just different elements of genres to it. So that's like, I mean, pop. When I think pop, I think Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? That's what I think as a pop,
Justin
as a
Bieber,
pop artist. Because what
Backstreet
else?
Boys.
What else is she going to be considered?
She could be considered folk or something like that.
Yeah, but not everything.
Okay.
You
So
know?
what's the top?
All right, we at the top 5. Whitney Houston,
Not mad.
Beyonce,
Not mad.
Michael Jackson.
I'm mad.
You,
Keep going.
you want Aretha Franklin,
That's the one we fucked
and
up.
number 1 is
Yeah, we
Stevie
did
Wonder.
fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot Aretha.
Who forgot Aretha?
I mean, she was
Well,
in.
we
She
were making our guesses.
None of us like mentioned her as being a top 3 choice.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Why?
She don't belong.
Aretha Franklin is not a top 3 choice.
You're out of your mind.
I know.
That's crazy.
I
Tell
know.
me why. Please tell me why.
Because of all the names that we just read. That's why.
She's not.
Here-
You can honestly swap her and R. Kelly spot.
no way.
I'm just talking about you could put her at 9 and put
nobody,
him and put
if
him.
you
Well,
put
nobody be mad at
If
it.
you put
Nobody be
Aretha
mad.
Franklin at 9, nobody bats an eye.
Nobody would say
Oh,
nothing
I
wrong.
think. I mean, she's. I would. I'm mad I didn't say it back the other day. I mean, Aretha Franklin to me, it's probably the greatest singer of the 20th century, and she usually gets voted as such. But if you look at her catalog,
It's insane.
it's insane. If you start with, I think it was 67 or 68 with the with Columbia Records, all those covers, all that music she did, which would fit in R&B if we count Etta James. She bodied all the jazz stuff. Then you get to like 1970, 1971, where she starts with Atlantic Records. That run in Atlantic Records is one of the greatest runs we've ever seen. I mean, of top music.
If that's your argument for Aretha, then there's no way that she should be above James Brown.
Oh, I think she's cooking James Brown.
Oh, I thought you got it.
Because she got more decades of it, and her stuff is squarely in the genre more to me than James Brown's. And
I
everybody
took
you
myself
named,
out of that genre bending argument.
Okay, fair enough. Take the genre bend off argument off the table. The other thing for me is everybody we mentioned, she's taken their work, remade it, embodied it. Which for me is also a sign of. I mean, you got Otis Redding, but she takes respect and makes it a song to Otis Redding that's unrecognizable.
So what did Whitney Houston do?
She another one. That
She did
can
it
get out
once.
the top 5.
That what?
She another one that can get out the top 5.
You out your mind.
She need to get. You want it lower, right?
I just think there's some picks where you lose a little bit of blackness even saying some of this shit out loud. Like James Brown not being a top 4 act is, I don't understand that.
I'm with you.
If he's there, it's like anybody putting Stevie anywhere outside of number 1. I'm just not gonna understand.
I could
I
see
think Aretha's
Stevie.
right under
thinking.
Stevie. To me, Aretha's right under Stevie.
If Stevie would have been outside the top 3, then it's blasphemy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have argued if he was number 2. I wouldn't have argued if he was number 3.
I think Aretha and James should be pretty close to each other, which they are in this.
Yeah, I
So
think they are.
I'm not entirely mad at that. Although I wouldn't have maybe had her second.
Yeah.
Putting Aretha Franklin second.
From 1960s to her last hit was Roses and Rose, right? That was her last big hit. Not talking about that River in the Deep shit. I mean, you're talking about 6 decades. I mean, you're talking about 5 decades, 6 decades of R&B music, and all these number ones. I mean, she is the template. Yo.
But you see what get me about that? Like you said, even when we had the conversation previously, you forgot Aretha.
Yeah.
Like them ones, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't forget them.
You don't forget him.
They don't even slip
Ain't
your mind.
nobody
There's
in this
no
room
shit. I
say,
didn't even think
"That
about
is
that.
true."
You see what I'm saying?
That is
Like
true.
them ones that's them.
Yep.
Yeah, now he's trying
Ain't
to
no
spin the
forgetting.
block with
No,
Aretha.
I mean, we
Roses.
said Aretha in the convo. I just
No, we
forgot to
didn't.
rank
No,
her.
we didn't.
No, we didn't. We actually didn't.
Names
No, we
never
didn't.
got-
None of us said
Then
her.
that's even worse. Then that's even worse.
No, it doesn't.
That's proving the
that
point.
speaks volumes that her impact wasn't to the point where it was undeniable that Aretha Franklin would be
No,
in
I
You
somebody's
see how
this is-
Stevie name came up? It was like, yo.
Prince's name came up. Stevie, Mike, James.
We forgot
Brown.
Ray Charles too. in
Ray
third
Charles
place.
didn't come to me. This is-
Hey, I don't
No,
know if we said James Brown.
No, we
said
did. No,
James Brown.
no, we
Yeah.
said
He was
Ray
in people's
Charles
top
and
3.
we said James
Part of it is
Brown.
because I don't necessarily when you say R&B singer, the word Aretha doesn't come to my mind. I think
Why?
So-
because I think of soul. It's a genre thing, but this is a much broader than that. I didn't think of Michael Jackson for the same reason.
But the room did.
Somebody did it.
Everybody in this room's name tossed around Michael Jackson's name. tossed around James Brown's name.
Yeah.
Beyonce, Whitney Houston. People tossed around certain names. Aretha Franklin's name never came up.
Yeah, but that says
with
more about
8 or
us than
9
Aretha
people.
is what I'm saying.
I'm
We
not
fucked up.
disagreeing,
Yeah.
but it also
Agreed.
speaks to her impact and what it means to us in our age group.
Yeah, but I said this might be generational, but I don't think there's an argument against Aretha being at least top 3. I don't think there's a legitimate argument for Aretha not being top 3. I can't see it.
Not with R. Kelly being 9 for me. I'm sorry.
I don't think they're in the same planet.
What?
I think they only become on the same plane when we start talking about songwriting and things like that. When
No,
you add
I'm
these
talking about
other
music
elements.
and albums and
Yeah, Aretha has way more albums, way more music, way more impact. I mean,
She's so impactful that nobody.
Give me your top 4
Yeah,
most
like-
impactful Aretha records.
impactful.
Yeah.
That's
Respect, of course.
Respect is number 1. Impactful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say think. I would say I Never Loved a Man, because when that came out, that B-side of Never Loved a Man, and I think it was on the other side.
Yes, Never Loved a Man. I would put as impactful.
That was one of the most impactful albums of the decade. You know, when it came out as a single. Natural Woman's another one.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, man. In terms of impactful, then you get to the Amazing Grace album, right? The Amazing Grace. She stopped in the middle of a major soul R&B career and made a gospel album. Not the Al Green shit, like when shit is on the wrong side. You know, people make gospel albums when shit is going
When they
bad.
get fucked up.
She stopped and made
Shit on the wrong side.
She made amazing.
They call me doing this bullshit.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
right. Aretha shut everything down and made Amazing Grace, which up until a few years ago was the biggest and greatest gospel album ever made. Also, the Curtis Mayfield, everybody we mentioned as a star, she done did something with them and trumped them. I mean, the Curtis Mayfield album she made the album with Curtis Mayfield that he produced that had given him something he could feel on there was a major shift in soul in the late 70s. I mean, to me,
The earliest output is 4.
you said what?
You convincing me.
He got a little argument.
You convincing me.
He has an argument.
She might have one of the best voices, pure voices.
And I think she's the greatest singer of all time. That's the other
And
thing. So, like,
Her
impactful
Whitney
song
might
is
be
giving him
like-
something he can feel. That would be another impactful
that's what I'm
song.
saying. So she got the records, the voice, the impact.
Longevity.
Yeah, I mean,
She had more #1 hits than he does. So
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. Aretha is something else. Aretha's
And
on
I'm
the
pretty
planet.
sure that almost every single woman on this list would put Aretha where she's at.
They'd all put Aretha ahead of them.
Yes, every single
one.
one.
Whitney would say that. Beyonce would say
Every
that.
single
And
one.
not in that humble shit.
No, they
really,
would just be like, it's a fact.
But she was impactful back in the days, man. Like, you know, it's generational, like I said.
You guys are
Y'all
fucked.
niggas got Mariah
Except
Carey
Mariah.
and Whitney
You know what?
Houston out y'all fucking minds. If Whitney Houston is breathing today, she says I'm the best singer on this planet. She might not say it out of respect, but in her heart of hearts, Whitney Houston was feeling like, yo, fam, I'm that bitch. Y'all can't fuck
I think
with me,
Aretha
my
was
nigga.
something else. Aretha was something else, man. I ain't never seen nothing like it.
I wasn't even a thought in my dad balls. I'm shutting up.
No, and he's good to go argument, but fam,
No, he switched me a little.
not
bit.
two.
I'm embarrassed. I'm an Aretha stan, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't.
Mark, you got.
No, I am an Aretha stan.
Yo, dog.
Remember, we had a conversation about this months ago when I was telling you to read the David Ritz's book on her. It's dope, and you appreciate her vocals even more.
Okay.
Aretha's amazing.
Aretha's the shit. Aretha is.
She's dope. She dope. Fire.
Clean it up,
They could
nigga.
have put Aretha at 16.
I would have thrown this
And nobody would have said, like, yo, that's right. That's right.
They could have put Aretha right under Otis Redding. Nobody would have batted an eye.
Put her above under Otis Redding.
Yo.
She could have been by Ray Charles, wherever he was at. He was too high. Man, kick all these. I'm shutting up.
Humbug.
Dad, she'll fuck you up.
I'm saying things I would never say in front of my parents.
Word.
Unless I was trying to get hit.
Oh no, Pop's gonna call you.
Oh, he gonna call you on that shit. He should.
Pop's gonna call him.
Yeah, no, Aretha was never on my list of people to shit on in front of my dad. I try to just keep that like Roberta Flack.
That's crazy.
Who's that other one?
Yo, you stupid.
There's one more. Anyway.
I thought it was pretty brave of them to put R. Kelly on the list as high as they put him, period, or on the list, period.
Did they make a mention of it, of his shit? Like, did it be like this?
Oh yeah, right. Read
Because
that.
sometimes they're apologetic about it. Like, you know, we had to include him despite his such and such.
Well, they
I
didn't
don't
do it with
think you
they
need
didn't do it
to
with Chris Brown.
apologize for including
I don't think you
R. Kelly in any music conversation.
I agree, but you know, magazines are often scary like that.
They didn't do it with Chris Brown.
They
and a lot of,
didn't apologize, but they did mention it. He was
In
says-
2022, Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison for sex trafficking and racketeering
Jesus
charges
Christ.
tied to
Yeah,
decades
they
of
had to mention
sexual
it,
abuse,
unfortunately.
which has tainted the singer's legacy. But
Makes
from
sense.
a purely musical perspective, there's no denying that Kelly is one of the best contemporary R&B artists to ever pick up
Yeah,
a
they had to
microphone.
explain themselves.
If it wasn't for Dolly Parton, I don't know about putting Whitney above R. Kelly.
shit.
I ain't gonna hold you.
You out your
There we go.
You're
And Whitney don't belong over no damn R. Kelly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, you said that.
You want to dance with some nigga? Move.
Nah, that's
You wanna do the heat? Stop it.
Ain't no R&B.
Stop it. Stop
Why
it.
you
That's not R&B R&B record.
Why you jump right to Chris Brown about?
And it's mad of him on
It's
that
a
list.
whole
That's-
list of
No,
these
no, no,
niggas.
no, no,
That's
no.
not right that you do that,
No,
man.
no, no, no,
Honestly.
no,
Well, he a
no.
criminal.
Wait,
James Brown is right there.
wait, just hold on one second.
Hold on.
It's a bunch of people on that list.
Otis Redding,
I
Sam
understand that, but there is an active campaign to keep Chris Brown like off of like any list.
Not anymore.
I agree.
Wait. The recognition of his talent. I love Breezy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that oftentimes publications. I'm not. Don't fucking do that.
Al6.
Don't
Don't do
fucking
that, y'all.
don't do that, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to make a mention of the fact that people take every opportunity that they can to fucking make mention of. Yeah, they do.
I think the difference is R. Kelly because it's kids and he's incarcerated.
Fuck y'all.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I think because R. Kelly and his kids, they had to mention him.
It's not my dig. I just said that I'm
You can't
surprised.
borrow a
It's not her
dig.
shovel, nigga.
All right, whatever. Keep going.
I have nothing to say. I'm standing with Mel.
R. Kelly should be number 2, and that's it. We agree, and that's it. Should be number 2.
You got him at number 2?
Yes.
Fuck no, I'm crazy.
Crazy, nigga.
Behind Stevie Wonder.
Y'all high as hell.
You got R. Kelly above Michael, you know, it's fine.
No. Matter of fact, I put him number 3. I put Michael before him.
Okay.
Yeah.
You put him above Prince?
Chillin' in my 4.6. That nigga made Step in the Name of Love, nigga.
He did.
That nigga made, nigga, if I could turn back the head.
Nigga.
What's shit? If I could,
I believe I can fly.
yeah,
And
nigga.
all us singing at graduation.
At graduation, in Pathfinder.
Fuck is you talking about?
Fuck y'all talking about,
that
yo?
shit go in line with Pomp and Circumstance.
Yeah. That shit go along with
You
war.
went to them you went to them terrible ass Jersey high schools, man. That's why.
Nigga, that shit was every high
What high
school.
school you
Watch
went
your
to?
fucking mouth.
George Washington Carver High School of Engineering and Science.
Nigga.
And
Where was
you
that?
joined the cult, so we don't give a fuck about that. You went on to be a journalist.
Here you go.
Fuck is you talking about?
Tap your little Philly foot.
Look at Mark.
Fuck out of here.
Don't play Happy People, nigga. Mel was in that.
Pull out that fucking BlackBerry.
Well,
Shut up.
But that Fiesta come on, you might get the tapping.
Happy people, man.
Happy People, yeah.
No R. Kelly, man. No R.
What's wrong with you, nigga? After the show,
Old
nigga.
people don't get all them old parties, the 50th party, you turn to 60.
50.
All R. Kelly party. No, I'm just saying, but I'm saying, all right, you know what I'm talking about, older people. They playing R. Kelly and they getting up, stepping in the name
In a
of love.
heartbeat.
They do all that shit.
Yeah.
They don't care about that.
Fuck them.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one
Hey,
for
yo.
the steppers.
Hey, yo, you know I might get up and step with you.
Hey, sorry, Whitney. hey. Let's go. Get in your bag. Here you go.
What do we do?
Why you over there?
Mark went off to sing.
Hey, yo. You fake ass. Oh, man.
Mark, don't go dance on the side, nigga.
Nigga doing the 2-step. Fuck you doing in the kitchen, yo. I know.
What a steppers do.
Whew, that's tough.
Ooh.
Oh, it's supposed to be the remix.
I was about to say, yo,
Supposed to be the remix. Cause you did my ever since you did my laptop, yo. Ever since you did my laptop, shit just ain't been right.
No. See, you have to understand stepping is not just a dance. It's a culture.
Mark, you ain't got to dance on the side, nigga.
Mel be trying to
Mel was in this video.
Yeah, she was in the other one you played.
I wasn't.
Still.
I was in Happy People.
Dance with your partner and y'all holding hands and y'all swinging.
Hey, I'm sorry, Whitney, rest in peace. But
Dipping them.
Oh, Pops.
I'm
Like the boogeyman. You gotta stop talking people up, son.
Good Pops.
yo, look at my dad. Nah, don't rap. Nah, don't rap. Don't rap.
You just missed your son sit up here and said we ranking the top R&B singers of all time. He basically said Aretha Franklin wasn't shit.
Yeah, I know. He said stupid things like that.
He said stupid things like that.
No. They got Aretha at number 2 behind Stevie at 1.
All time
top 75 greatest R&B acts.
We good with that.
I just don't think Aretha should
He
be at 2.
says she should be lower on the list.
I just don't think Aretha should be at 2. That's
You
it.
think she should be behind R. Kelly?
He thinks she should be.
No, but she should be behind James Brown. Say the names I said. Don't try to get me in trouble with my dad.
What's it? Is it based on just what? Music, writing, show?
No show. Like voice. Accolades, longevity, impact, all that stuff. And he basically was like, fuck Otis Red and Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh, that's no.
He wild.
Oh, we have to just lie.
That's not what he said.
That's just lie.
Marvin Gaye.
You starting something new here?
I'm never gonna say fuck Teddy Pendergrass or Otis Red.
But you have them very low.
Did he say fuck Curtis Mayfield?
No.
He didn't say fuck
He
Curtis
didn't even
Mayfield.
acknowledge him.
He basically didn't acknowledge him, right?
No.
Wait, all right, I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with y'all.
He started Curtis Mayfield music way before his time.
Bob, nobody disrespected Curtis Mayfield.
Who'd you disrespect?
They're liars.
Who are names you disrespected? I can't remember.
Roberta
Ray
Flack.
Charles.
Oh, that's what it was. Roberta Flack.
Ray Charles.
Roberta Flack, Patti LaBelle.
He didn't. He ain't say nothing.
I ain't say nothing, but she another one. she another one.
Come on.
Listen, I ain't gotta respect all of the people that my dad respects.
You didn't beat him enough. That's just what it is.
Yeah, no, honestly.
Go hit a high note and make a pop.
Look, he gonna blame my mom.
So that's why when he told me, well, he used to tell me he's changed, that he's getting better. That Will Chamberlain wasn't shit.
All right, listen. All right, Pop, it's good for y'all. Look what y'all did.
Yeah.
Look what y'all did.
Your son didn't say that.
Listen, what else do we have on our topic board? Congratulations to all. Make some noise for all acts that made the top 75. No matter where you are on that list, it is an accomplishment. So shout out to each and every one of y'all.
Indeed.
And all of y'all, well, most of y'all probably forgot more about music than we've ever learned. Most of y'all. Some of y'all. What else?